wimps anyway, that we're supposed to work hard. But I mean, their system has just exposed itself for the vacuous, unsustainable, and completely irrational system that it is. And therefore, the people now are waking up. They're trying to hold on. They're trying to bail out the banks, and then they're going to tell us that we're in debt to the banks and all this. And where's that money coming from? It's completely fabricated. Because, quite frankly, they're bereft of credibility, and they know that they're being viewed by us. Today in the streets, we'll be outside the Tellers building, not just speaking to Bush. I mean, Bush is kind of the sort of cheap lipstick on the ugly face of the corporate world, We're talking to the wider audience. We're talking to the corporations. We're talking to the media. One of the people hosting Bush is a law firm. They're honest on their website. They describe themselves as a criminal law firm. So at least they're honest, and their name's Bennett Jones, the Bennett Jones law firm, and these are the people who are really criminal, the people who sell out, who don't actually want to abide by the law, but want to manipulate legal codes in order to justify double standards, hypocrisy. These are hypocrites seek to perpetuate their system, and we're gonna resist it on the street today. With Split in the Sky speaking, the Native American activist, Professor Tony Hall, and many other very righteous people will be there on the streets saying, no, we want to change, we want difference, we want an alternative economic order, and most importantly, we want the truth. I mean, the most basic thing, if we're not going to have law, at least have truth, and this disinformation campaign and these smoke screens, this fog of myopia that they seek to construct, we're going to break through that today.
Well, how close will you be able to get to where Bush is actually speaking?
Well, from where I can see, they haven't cornered off anything. Perhaps they've underestimated. One reason he came here, right, is because this has got a reputation for its right-wing inclination, in the sense that it's called Texas North. It's the Bible Belt. It's it's a place that he feels comfortable, right? It's quite important and significant that he's come to this particular city. And in the newspapers, of course, they're saying, oh, he's going to be welcomed because Alberta's right-wing, et cetera, right? And we're saying, no, we are the people of Alberta. We're living here. And we're not prepared to stand by and just watch you roll out the red carpet for a war criminal. We're saying that, he is the number one war criminal on the planet, and therefore we have an obligation as human beings, not only to our American brothers across the border and brothers and sisters who have been had their civil liberties rolled back, had their citizens kidnapped and taken to torture camps, turning up on the streets of Iraq, burnt to a cinder. We're not just saying that we're in solidarity with you, but we're saying that we're in solidarity with international law. I criticize Israel a lot, and I've been to Auschwitz, and the Holocaust was, in my opinion, the worst crime, or one of the worst crimes in the history of humanity. But, I lost relatives in World War II too, And one of the gifts of my relatives who gave their bones in World War II to resist fascism was international law, the United Nations Charter, That was the greatest gift they passed down to our generation. It's been completely defenestrated by Blair and Bush and Cheney and the rest of these war criminals. And in memory of those who died in World War II, I think it's our obligation to embrace international law and ask for the United Nations to be reformed. I mean, the idea that you have the United Nations in New York, where people like heroes in solidarity with the Palestinian struggle, Hugo Chavez and Evo Morales, arrive in their aeroplanes and can't even get their ministers off the plane because they don't get given visas, is a complete double standard and a hypocrisy yet again. And so we're asking we're embracing international law. We're asking Canada as a country, allegedly, this is basically the question: are we a colony in Canada, or are we a country? Are we a sovereign nation that respects international law, that remembers the crimes of the previous fascist regime, or aren't we? And if we are, tell us and show us. And if we aren't, could you tell us and show us, please? At least don't pretend you have law.
Okay, well, I certainly hope you will succeed in stepping up there and making noise at Bush's first ever visit to a foreign country as a private citizen. I don't think he's ever going to be able to go out and do book signings in public the way Jimmy Carter did when Jimmy Carter called for a new 9/11 investigation. People are always going to be after him. And congratulations on being the first bunch of people after Bush when he leaves the USA as a private citizen. Thank you, Josh Blakeney. Keep up the good work.
You.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, sir.
Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. We're going to return in just a moment with Alan Rowland, a PhD psychotherapist, who is a bit of a student of comparative mysticism and also a strong voice of 9/11 truth. So stick around.